Okay, so now on to Hence, the horse, the last horse to come out of the Kentucky Derby. So we will call him an old shooter as opposed to the new shooters. So here he is. He's 20-1 on the morning line. Let's just start from the bottom up. In August, tried to break his maiden in Saratoga. Dead on the board. And ran like it. There were two next out winners, so it was pretty tough competition. But he was just way back throughout. 93K. Brought him over to Keeneland for 60K. Steve Asmussen. And in this race, he was wide. Had an awkward start. Was gaining late. So he got a hot early pace and a closer-friendly flow. Pick up the pieces and tried to pick up the pieces late. So he's flattered by the pace in that one. So they tried to switch strategies coming over here at Churchill Downs on November. This horse is owned by Calumet Farm, I believe. Yep, Calumet Farm. Can't really tell from this how much they spent for him. Somehow he's already earned. Oh, he won the Sunland Derby. That pumped that number up, how much he's earned. Okay, so that strategy didn't work. I mean, he almost held on. He dueled in the stretch and gave in late at 8 furlongs. Goes over to Oaklawn Park. Bet down to heavy favoritism, so he basically towered over this field. He had a stablemate in here, and I'll show you this race that was used as a rabbit to soften them up early to set it up for him. Stablemate still almost beat him. He bolted and almost ran into the pole near the finish, in addition to having the fast early pace. I'll go ahead and show you the ending because it was pretty bizarre. Go full screen here. So Horsefly's his stablemate, which that's Horsefly right there, and that's Hence.
And Hence has a good shot to give Steve Asmussen his 500th at Oaklawn Park, and the entry is 1-2 at the top of the stretch. Horsefly and Hence, but Hence takes over the lead and he takes charge. Hence is now 2.5 in front of Horsefly in second. Broken Promise is third, and Steve Asmussen is going to make Oaklawn history here. Well, maybe he's not, because Hence ducked in, and it might cost him the race. Horsefly takes over the lead. Now Hence is going to try to battle back. Yes, he does.
And he does. So that was a little bizarre there with Hence getting back up over his stablemate, giving Steve Asmussen his 500th win at Oaklawn Park, which the announcer was very excited about. And so let's revisit that. So that's where he broke his mating. Very strange, I must say. So then he comes back to the Southwest Grade 3 in Oaklawn Park. Did not get bet. There were 3 next out winners in this race, including Hence. He was faster than normal, a little closer up than he had been. Looking at Lee, passed him in the stretch to get up for third. So just to refresh my memory, try to blast through this real quick. Looking at Lee's number 4. Hence is number 9. Let's see the results. One-liner Petrov and looking at Lee. Yeah, one-liner was a cool horse, but couldn't get her done. So Hence is number 10. Right there with the yellow on his black. Number 4, that's looking at Lee doing his customary thing way back yonder. And Alright, so there's looking at Lee, third from last. Hence is number 10 right there. And in 22, uncontested was kind of winging it out there.
Then it's a length and a half to Dilettante and Silver Dust. Hence is next. 3 lengths further back to Kurahi.
There he is.
It's a length and a half to Looking at Lee, and here's Looking at Lee moving up
46.
just a bit, though. He's a long way behind uncontested, and the 2 trailers are PC Cowboy and Rowdy the Warrior.
He starts to get to work on him here.
50-second running of the
Here comes Looking at Lee.
Petrov is at the throat latch of uncontested, and here comes
That's
Petrov.
Hence.
He's going to put a head in front.
All out.
Uncontested is back into second, and now Petrov past mid-stretch leads by 2 lengths.
Here comes Looking at Lee. That's Hence.
These 2 to the final furlong, one-liner alongside Petrov. They're sprinting away, and one-liner has now taken the lead. Petrov is back to second. Here's an undefeated Southwest winner, one-liner.
One-liner got it done. So, yeah, that was 8.5. It almost looked like Hence was getting a little tired there. So, which they said it was faster, it's a somewhat faster than normal pace. So it looked, you know, and I think that tired him out. So Steve Asmussen, I think, figured him out in this race and said, just sit back and make one run at it, and that's exactly what he did. And he got a perfect setup. Had a hot early pace, much faster than normal, according to all, you know, Timeform US, Brisnet, Moss. Bauer later came back and changed his fig, bumped it up to a 97 for some reason. Put away Conquest Mo Money, who was on the hot pace early in the congested paddle with many others, and he sat in the pocket and got a pretty nice setup. Let's just see the chart. I like that Conquest Money was able to hold on for second. Which makes him somewhat of a threat. I mean, Conquest Mo Money then comes back to hold on for second in the Arkansas Derby, but I'll get to him next. Show his stuff next. So, there's no Trackus, but yeah, he basically got a perfect setup here, popped a 97. So, he was the buzz horse coming into the Derby, went off at 15-1, and did nothing. Wow. Couldn't capitalize, had closer favoring, steadied off heels, faded to Musser Click. Looking at Lee, passed him like he was standing still. Just threw in a dud. And I don't see him doing much better in the in today's race. Let's see. There he is. He will be a little more forwardly placed, but I'm inclined to beat him out of the trifecta as well, just to juice up the trifecta. I probably won't include him in the exacta, but we'll just go 2.9 for now, and maybe bump Gunnevera back down to 2.8, because I do think Gunnevera is a little bit better than Hence, and Looking at Lee is much better than both of them. So made him a 2.2. Classic Empire is better than Looking at Lee for sure. But I'm still going to probably try to beat him out of the exacta just so we can make some money. And I really like Always Dreaming. That's where I'm at so far. I'm going to look at the new shooters next.